Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your May forecast. It's always great to see you, and I can't wait to see what's coming through for the month of May. As you know, you can always use this for your sun, your rising, as well as your moon sign. And if there's someone in your life that you care about, you can also watch it on their behalf. By the way, if you don't happen to know your rising sun and moon sign, just stick with the sign that you're born under and you'll get more than enough information by watching that. For everybody that has come back from a previous month, I just want to say thank you for your continued support. And if you're brand new, I want to give you a nice warm welcome and introduce myself. My name is Ashbaugh, and the way that I format these videos each and every month is as follows. I start off with a channeled message. We'll get to that in just a moment. I then follow it up with a traditional Celtic cross, which really lets me see whatever needs to come through during the month. And then I make sure to expand it to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. Now, if you like what you see here, please stick around until the very end. I'll give a closing message, but right before that, I'll also let you know how you can give back to the channel if you'd like to. Everything that you see here is viewer supported, so liking, subscribing, sharing, and also joining me on Patreon or doing a one-time donation, it really makes a big difference. Again, all of that will be at the end, but I know you came for the forecast, so without any further delay, let's get into that information. This month, when I selected your cards and began to meditate, I saw two different sort of snapshot images, and then I engaged in some automatic writing. The images were as such. The first thing that I saw was what looked like a reflection, you looking at yourself, and you were kind of shaking your head. It was either in disagreement or there was this feeling of, I can't, I won't, or something negative. I kind of even saw the word no kind of pop into my head for a second. The second thing that I saw was hands opening up and there was a gift inside. And when I put the two symbols together, I had a feeling that there was a perceived block or setback, followed quickly or not in the too distant future by some sort of a blessing, something that is going to exceed your expectations, surprise you, or turn out to be better than what it was that you were trying to achieve or get or see materialize initially. So I wrote down, I kind of summarized this as a hidden blessing. And then I encouraged you in the smaller text here not to be overly critical or to be negative, because it's that negativity that is going to sort of create a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think it never works out, or I can never get this done, or why, this is just bad luck, then it starts to kind of solidify and become a truth. If you instead think, this wasn't the right time for that, what else is coming through? I'm ready for something better. Maybe the universe has something even better in store for me. I can't wait to see what it is. If you hold that in your heart and put that message out to the universe, you could be pleasantly surprised by something, again, that exceeds your expectations, could come as a happy surprise. And so I encourage you to focus instead on the hands. Be in that receiving place where you think, I am open to abundance in all forms. Love, money, opportunity. And I'm not going to judge when something else doesn't come through. I will just be open for the higher opportunity that's waiting for me down the line. All right, at this point, let's take a look at the cards and see what additional information they have to convey. I'm going to remain quiet at this point, but I'll join you again in just a moment and break it down card by card so we can see what's ahead for this month. Your catalyst card this month is the Tower reversed. It's a different looking tower, and I want to kind of show you the connection between this and the card that crosses the center card. If you first take a look at the catalyst here, you'll notice that this isn't the normal tumbling tower that you would see in a traditional Rider-Waite deck. This is actually showing someone that to me looks like a magician or a shaman that is creating or embarking on some sort of a change or a shift in their life. Your center card is crossed by the magician. It's actually the Seven of Wands. But when we look at these two characters, to me they're the same. And what this is showing you is that you have a chance this month to rethink, reshape, reorganize with the power of the Tower. And for me, this card always indicates a chance to kind of like create a stronger, firmer foundation on whatever is going on. So that hidden blessing that I was talking about in your channeled message could indeed simply be that it's time to dismantle something, or that you thought something looked good, but upon second glance you realize, I think I can do a better job. I think I'm going to retry this. And if you can realize that by stepping back and kind of hitting the reset button, you're going to end up with something so much better in the long run, you will be happier with that sort of process. It's never fun to have to kind of start from scratch, but I learned this back when I used to work on digital projects. Sometimes if you were creating something and it crashed, or you lost some data and you started it again, you might have a much cleaner and crisper product because you didn't have all of the trappings of what you were building on before, which was sometimes just trial and error. So just realize you're going to be better for this journey. And when you own whatever is happening and think, all right, I have to do this, it's going to be okay, and I can maybe do it even better this second time around, then suddenly some opportunities start to open up for you. Right at the center of the spread, we have the Seven of Wands. This is great for multitasking. It shows that anything that comes your way this month, you're going to have an ability to really just get it done and surprise people. The other thing is, if you're trying to make something happen, this shows you that you have that sort of stubbornness necessary, and it's an encouragement to continue to push. You will see progress, but effort is required on your part. There is also a flip side to this, which is to try not to either let somebody push your buttons and then as a result kind of be on the defensive, or on the reverse, unnecessarily kind of dig into other people's business and feel like you have to fix things for them. Just focus on what's important to you and for the task at hand, and pick and choose the battles that are most pertinent to that. Everything else kind of back down a little bit, and if somebody comes to you with some constructive criticism, just listen. You don't always have to react. You can say, thanks, I'll take it into consideration, and I appreciate your feedback. You don't have to prove them right or wrong. You don't have to immediately take action on that. You could then do some research and say, hey, I looked into this. I have some follow-up questions based on what you told me. There's always a chance to revisit it. So everything coming through this month is somehow a blessing for you. So even that constructive criticism falls in that category. Crossing the Seven of Wands, we have the Magician, and I saw a direct connection between this card and the Tower, which was in the Catalyst position. This means that you have more power than you think. You have the ability to turn things around this month because that Tower was reversed. And the important thing to remember with the Magician is that you want to stay connected to what it is you're trying to do. This is a card of empowerment and great focus, but when that focus is broken, then your ability to finish something can also be broken, and then you kind of lose momentum basically. What I like about the Magician is that you notice there's always something representing each of the suits here, which shows the ability to connect with people from different walks of life, to do a lot of different tasks, to bring everything together. It's kind of like the glue card, if you will, in the tarot. So if you put the Magician in any sort of situation, she or he can work their way out of that, which is great. So remember that you have that potential this month, but it's important for you to stay focused, believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, and if those last two things aren't possible, then you have to question why you're doing what you're doing. And there is a chance this month to walk away from things, because when I'm looking in the possibilities area, also representing fears and hopes, we have Judgment. So you might choose that it's just not worth the energy or the effort. Even in the environment, we see a card that can show letting go and moving on. So as I said, if you feel committed to a task, then wholeheartedly go through that, channel all of your energy just like the Magician would, and get it done. But if there is something where you feel like either the group that you're working with, the project itself, or just the whole energy around it is no longer sort of balanced or compatible with you, then it's time to sort of reevaluate and think it might be time to move on. As we look at events in the deep past and also feelings in the deep past, we have the Moon card in reverse. I actually like the reversed Moon because it shows that some transparency is starting to come through, and this is something that your ego really wants this month. The Eight of Swords in reverse is also saying, I'm ready now to just see things for what they are. When you do that, there's an ability to understand motives, and that's also what is part of this card. So if there's someone in your life that revealed a piece of themselves that you're still trying to process, again, how do you want to be connected to them moving forward? This is the month when that is going to come to some sort of clarification, because the moon is in the past, the sun is in the crowning position. So it's all going to make sense. Give yourself the time you need, but I think by the end of the month, if there's any big decision about a relationship, a job, a move, or something that you want to do in your life, you'll have that complete understanding of what's next by the end of the month. And if not, then there's probably a little bit of unnecessary pause on your part. There's something intuitive that is already pointing you in a direction. You should be able to go there, and hopefully I can help you sort that out by the end of this spread here. As we're looking at what could be affecting some of this hesitation inside, some of you have a constraint of resources, either time, money, energy. Something has been sort of sapped out a little bit as I'm looking at what the last month or two has been kind of doing to you. So I think you have a lot of evaluation to do this month as to whether this investment of time and energy or money is worth it. Because what I see for you is that there are 3 cards here that indicate moving on. We have 6 of Swords, 10 of Wands, and Judgment. And if you're looking to just let go, everything here is kind of supporting that, and the outcome card shows that you'd be happy with that decision. If you decide to work on it, that Magician and 7 of Wands also show that you can do it, but it has to feel good. And when I'm looking in the soul for many of you, I feel like you just want to change. And change can be very healthy, very, I would say, vital for growth. I talk a lot about gardening. You have to prune to sometimes stimulate that growth. And I feel like some of you have just been kind of stagnating in a place too long, or a way of thinking or a way of feeling. And this is a breakthrough month for you. The Tower card basically shows you that now is the time to make the change, and it's going to be easy because there'll be some situations that arise that will not allow you to kind of sit still anymore. I want to talk a minute about the Sun card in your crowning position. This is really good. This is your ability to impress upon people that you're someone that they should pay attention to. It shows charisma. It shows basically an execution upon that power potential that we saw within the Magician. So when you can basically shine this month by putting your hard work into something. So I know that there's been a lot of movement shifting. For some of you, there might even be some uncertainty around all of that. But I think this month that many of you are going to be stepping into a bigger opportunity. And this could be what changes everything for you. You could get a chance to move. Maybe it's a transfer in your company. You could meet someone in your life that you love, and you decide to move across the world or move in with them. Movement is a key piece of what I'm seeing this month. The Tower itself is saying, it's the universe in a very non-subtle way saying, time to move on, time to go towards this, you can't delay anymore. So I think it's some exciting change, and what you have to sort of think about now is, why am I holding on? For some of you, when I look at the 8 of Swords, it simply is because of fear, because of not knowing all of those pieces, all of the components. And the way to overcome fear is through information. So just take some time this month to dig in a little bit, research things that are important to you, and kind of dissipate and get rid of that fear. And I think another piece that's really essential this month is quiet time or away time. When I look at the near future, we have the 6 of Swords, and then also the environment, the 10 of Wands. So for some of you, you just want to pull away a little bit and be with yourself so you can sort out how you feel versus everybody else's opinion. And whenever you've made a cross-country move or a move to another country, it's a big deal, and you might be the only one that can do that. Same thing with an engagement, same thing with signing a contract for a job or for a house. These are big life-changing things, and you have to sit well with those. So you're, at the end of the day, the only person that can really say yes and know when is when. But it feels like you're going to have that decision or some big possibilities this month that are going to come through that will require you to move. So take the time, but don't take forever is what I'm seeing here. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed in your life and have also felt like you wanted to withdraw from all your friends and family, this card combined with the other ones that I'm looking at could show this feeling of just being in need of talking to someone, whether it's a counselor, a doctor, or a friend. I would encourage you to do that. there is a suggestion as I look at the Six of Swords and the Ten of Swords reversed to let go a little bit, to move away from stuff, to try to sort of just lighten the load however you can, whether it's either symbolically or quite literally. If you do any heavy lifting, be careful, because that card can also show that you might be overdoing it or overstressing yourself if you're even working out too much. Be gentle with your body overall this month. We talked at great length already about how judgment could impact you, but I want to mention a couple of additional meanings for this card. First of all, with judgment in the upright position, this means that the decision is in your hands. Sometimes it's easier when there's an external voice that comes in and says, this is the way to do it, or you have to do this right now. I think that this month, the responsibility, the opportunity, the burden, it's kind of in your place, it's in your position. And that can be both exciting and also overwhelming for some of you. And it's touching the Ten of Wands. For some of you, it's the burden of the decision that could be feeling like, I don't know what to do. Am I going to do the right thing? I want to just let you know that no matter how much preparation, how much intuition you have, free will always plays a part. And I think this month you're going to have to trust yourself. I see all of these cards representing someone who is strong, can manage a lot of things at once, has a connection to the divine and understands how to access intuition, has a charisma that draws people in, and people admire you for a reason, so just trust yourself. Trust yourself to make that decision and then take the leap of faith. The outcome is great. We have the Lovers here. I feel like, first of all, part of it might just be loving that you've made it through all of this, but there's also something beautiful. This is the gift that I saw. Whether it's a person or an opportunity or a way of being or feeling, you end the month on a really, really bright note, which is great because at the beginning, some of it could have felt unsteady or overwhelming. And I think there are parts of this month where you sometimes feel like you have to fight for everything, but it starts to get easier, it starts to let up, you start to let go a little bit, and then once you surrender to the opportunities in front of you, more abundance starts to flow in. So I think overall, some really great things that are coming through, but there is sort of a trade-off. For that Lovers card, there might be a move or movement or change necessary in your life, and it looks like it's in more than one area. So everything that's worth experiencing has those sort of highs and lows and those trade-offs. So look at it and try to embrace it, and then when it feels right, take that leap. That's my advice as I'm looking at this. Let's go ahead now and we'll extend the forecast. The first area that we're going to look at is health, and health, of course, includes mind, body, and spirit. Let's take a look now at the cards and see what they have to say. Your message in health this month is really a complement to what we saw at the center here. Crossing the center, we have the Magician. And the Magician card for me is the ultimate channel, connected to heaven and earth. And in order to be an effective channel, you need to be grounded. And grounding activities include not only meditation, but also things like dance, art, just the act of talking to someone, communication, and especially if there's something going on in your life where you're feeling overwhelmed. Take some time this month and really allow yourself to be present, allow for these activities in your life to be a way for you to connect to that divine power. And one thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning, but it comes through loud and clear here, is that if there's something that's truly calling you, you can't really fight that. So for those of you that may be sort of on a path simply because of the money or because people pressured you or expectations, if you have a true calling in this life, eventually you find a way to get there, or you kind of burn out on a path that isn't providing everything that it should. So yes, this is in health, but health is connected to your happiness, which is connected to your job and what you're doing. And I see there is sort of something here that needs to be equaled out for some of you. For the rest of you, it's how much you're carrying from your friends, your family, and your environment. So let go of some of that, because that's where it was coming through when we looked at the spread here. This is your time to shine, the Sun card in the crowning position, and it's also your opportunity to use the energy presented and provided to you for whatever it is that you want to do on this planet. So let it come through. Allow yourself to just focus on your endeavors this month. There'll be a lot of time to help others, and then once you've kind of cleared your life, cleared your energy, and cleared this project or this big goal off your plate, you'll have a lot more to give to those around you. So the health card this month is about balance, grounding, and letting that energy flow through you in whatever way feels effective and appropriate for you. For some of you, it may simply be exercise, dance, etc. For some of you, it might be a new way of living, a new career, or something else that you want to explore. So I can't wait to see what it is for many of you. And with that being said, I think we're ready to move along to wealth. With wealth, a quick note that this is going to not just include money in your life, but it's also going to be self-worth and then how you're either attracting or pushing away opportunities as they arise. In wealth this month, the message is don't give up. Also, don't underestimate yourself. If we look at the caption here, it says you're stronger than you think you are and your strength assures a happy outcome. This looks like a solar deity to me, and it connects nicely with the sun card in the crowning position. The sun card is all about you knowing who you are, your energy, and confidence being something that pulls in other people who know who they are and are also confident in you. When you lack that vision or lack that confidence in yourself and what you can do, it creates an opening for people to come in and test you, or to maybe even come through and block something from happening. There are a lot of people there that work in all the frequencies, high and low, but the lower frequency people will take advantage of that momentary pause, even if it's coming from a place of just being cautious and careful and wanting to make sure that everything is okay. So do your homework this month. If there's anything that's making you feel uncertain, nervous, etc., take a look at it, inform yourself, and anything that you don't need to be focusing on, get that off your plate as well, and then be resolute, make a decision. I can do this, this is what's important to me, and don't second guess yourself. It's that confidence after you've prepared that will enable you to be successful. It will enable you to be the strength card. So take a look at, I think there are 2 cards you could meditate with this month if you'd like to go a little deeper and overcome some of the blocks that I see here. One is the strength card, because you'll see that there's a person that is opening up the mouth of a beast, usually like a lion or a tiger or something like that. And what it shows is even something that is very intimidating and works possibly just through their own instinct, it's your knowledge, it's your heart, it's your overall energy, and your own cunning ability to kind of pull it all together that's going to be that secret sauce, that magic that makes it happen. And you are magical. I think sometimes we don't own this as human beings. You have that connection between heaven and earth. Own it, trust it, be it, believe it, and then you won't be kind of like second guessing yourself anymore, and you'll be unstoppable. So if you can make that connection this month, that once you really truly believe in something and others can see that belief and they too kind of connect to your energy, then everything will start to fall into place. Like I said, you'll be unstoppable. That's what you see in a real leader. They understand their power, and they understand that when they can kind of pull it all together, that other people will follow. That's how you can lead, okay? So the second card, you want to meditate on the strength card. The second one is the Fool, because the Fool allows you to take risks. Good leaders take a risk. They do all the work, they listen to their intuition, and then they take that leap of faith. And I think all of these cards are begging for a leap of faith, a change, a shift. If you can do that, you're going to see what you need when it comes to opportunities. And for some of you, I think you've been undervalued in your old job, or if this is representing how people feel about you and how they invest in your relationship, it also feels undervalued. It's time to take that value back and demand equity, reciprocity, okay? Let's take a look now at love. This is not just about romantic relationships, but also all relationships in your life, friends, family, and also the most important one, I believe, how you feel about yourself. It all starts with self-love and acceptance. So let's give the cards a shuffle and see what message is coming through for love. Your message this month for love was reversed. Let's turn it upright so you can read it. It's all about passion, and it says, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. The Lovers card was in the outcome, which means that love is there. It's knocking on the door. The Gatekeeper is judgment. This could be your judgment that you're placing upon yourself. This could be judgment that you're receiving from others. It could also just be a decision that you need to make. There's just one step, it's all up here this month, that is kind of holding you back from that. I think it's really important to feel connected to who you are, what you're doing, and to trust that the people around you will do the same. That integration and that honesty and that transparency is really what can help you also accomplish the Lovers card. And as I'm looking at some of the other elements here, for some of you there's just a fear of what's happened in the past, maybe that it would repeat. There could have been a hit to your self-confidence from others. You could be denying your true path because you're just used to sort of working in the current conditions and you forget that there is a bigger picture. There is other things out there that are calling to you. I should say there are other things out there that are calling to you. So don't deny yourself opportunities to grow, to change, and to shift, because that really is the energy that wants to manifest this month. It's up to you how much you want to own the change, though. If you allow for some shifting and some movement and get closer to things that bring you passion, you start to channel them and use them in your everyday, and then you own that inner strength, then love and passion comes along, and people that are in the same sort of frequency, that have gone through the same things, will come through. You're not going to have to fix these relationships because you will have done the work on yourself, and then you'll be attracting people that have done the work on themselves as well. Let's go ahead now and take a look at your final card, Destiny. This acts not only as, for some of you, a confirmation that you're on the right track, but for some of you, it can be a chance to course correct. So let's see where you're headed this month, and then we'll do a final review. So your Destiny card is showing you the sky's the limit, and it also indicates that beautiful transitional energy that we would often see with the Death card, or in this case, the Tower card. You have the ability to change who you are, where you're headed, how people view you. Sometimes we just kind of get stuck in a way of being or a way of thinking. This month is really, really transformative for you. I want to highlight a couple of the cards, and we'll do this again in the end, but with the Tower, the Six of Swords, the Ten of Wands, Judgment, and this shape-shifting card here, the Clouds, those all tell me movement, changing, shifting, decisions. And for you, that means that whatever you believe you can do and whatever you decide to start to do, this could quite literally change the course of your life if you wanted to. At the very least, it can constitute this wonderful change in how you've been living this year and what opportunities you're going to bring in for the rest of the year. So don't underestimate your power and don't underestimate the potential for change. To that end, take some sort of solace in the fact that change is constant. I know that sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but we can count on the fact that time moves on, that our moods come and go, people come and go, that really the only thing that you can count on sometimes at the end of the day is the ability to see change happen. You get to be a change agent this month. You get to be a participant. You get to organize it. That is what this card really indicates. So fully own the Tower reversed and the subsequent energy of the Magician, and you're going to have a lot of say in what happens, how far you want to go with it, and what it means for you. So let's take a quick review of everything, and hopefully I can help you do that if you so choose. Your channeled message this month was to look at any sort of potential block as actually a blessing in disguise. You'll be nudged gently by the universe this month in sometimes a setback, sometimes a delay. And when this happens, I want you to see it as a chance for you to course correct or redirect your attention, your focus, etc. Don't be critical, don't go down the negative sort of thought pattern. Instead, think, what can I focus on instead, and how might this be helping me? The big energy of this month is that of transformation. We have the Tower in reverse, which is always about literally sort of cleaning up your surroundings, and then also figuratively doing some house cleaning in your relationships and what you're paying attention to. And remembering, as we looked closely at this, that I actually see a magician on top of this tower. And we saw the magician manifest right in the center, crossing that center card. So you have a lot more control and power than you may give yourself credit for this month. The key again is to stay focused and to decide what is worthy of your time and energy. Don't fight anything that's coming through that should be something that you're focusing on, your true desire, something that you realize you can't really put off anymore. Sometimes we get busy with life, with what people are kind of wanting and expecting us to do, and then we wake up one day and we realize today is the day that I have to start doing exactly what kind of compels me to get up every morning, what inspires me. So this could be a wake-up call for some of you to align to that soul path. Another note with the Seven of Wands, you're very able to manage everything in front of you, but just pick and choose if there's a battle or, again, a project or a focus that's more worthy of your time. Don't spread yourself too thin. In the past, I see that many of you have been working through fears, doubts, and uncertainties. You might have also been decoupling or moving away from a partnership where the other person was hard to trust or may have had an ulterior motive. What we're looking at the beginning of this month is that chance for you to reclaim self-worth, to also find a better investment of time, energy, and money. And once you do that, you realize that you have a lot more power and a lot more influence, again, than you might have realized before. And the overall energy of the sun is showing that as we enter the next 3 or 4 months, particularly for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, that the summer is going to be a great time for you. This is a card of charisma, of self-development, and also there's a little bit of joy and irreverence that comes through with that baby in the center. So find a way to celebrate things, to go with the flow, and like a child, try to approach each day with a sense of wonderment and hope and not holding on to the past. And in fact, there's a big note about letting go and moving on. This could be a month for forgiveness. I didn't mention that earlier, but releasing judgment, because all of these movement cards, they're right by the judgment card. When we're looking at your soul, it's just understanding that things can be better than you expect. Transparency is the key. Don't be afraid to do some research, get informed. Information and knowledge is a way to overcome fear and doubt. And for many of you, I think that there's an inevitability of a move, or at the very least, an encouragement for a move or a change. So whether you're ready for the change or not, I feel like it's coming through and you really want to try to embrace it for all that it offers you this month. With judgment, a decision is at hand for many of you. For the rest of you, it could be a chance to release harsh judgments about yourself or others and find a way for more self-love, more forgiveness, more love and abundance in your life overall, which is exciting. When we look at the expanded forecast for health, make sure that you're moving, that you're finding outlets for your energy, and that you're, again, working your passion. But the physical portion of this is key. So dancing, singing, exercising, yoga, walking, it doesn't really matter how, but you do need to sort of find a way to let go of the energy that's coming in. That's what makes the magician powerful, is the connection between heaven and earth, the earth portion being grounding and also allowing that energy to flow through you. You're stronger than you think. That's what we see in your wealth area. But the thing is, you have to own that. And you have to really feel that it's okay for you to stand up, to fight for yourself, and to really start to manifest all of the energy intrinsic to this. This is a solar deity, so it's okay for you to start to shine. And don't be afraid, don't hold back. We see that in love too. So these are all connected. Once you understand that movement is part of this, that you can move out of a situation that doesn't feel good, and that new people can start to come in, then that lover's card that we see here is going to come through, and you can have new partnerships, new friendships, new love interests, a deepening of an existing relationship, all that and more, because the main focus this month is that of shifting, change. And what I like with the clouds card is that it shows clearing, it shows movement. Clouds don't hold on to things. Everything gets released. The energy has to go through. That's the same message that we're seeing with these three cards: the magician, the outlet, the physical outlet, and then the shape-shifting. Something's happening this month where the universe is saying, allow it to come through, allow your heart to open, allow the change to happen. And once you get over any fear, doubt, or uncertainty around that, then I feel like you've got a lot of great things to celebrate and to hopefully manifest this month. That brings your monthly reading to a close, but I hope what you receive this month puts you in a place of being in a state of mind where you know that the outcome is quite nice. You just have to move through the sort of bumps and twists and turns at the beginning. If you ever need a little bit more information or you just want to talk a little bit more about spiritual development, feel free to reach out to me. If you click in the video, you'll notice that there's 3 cards. The first card will take you to my booking site. You can check out my rates and availability there. And if you decide you'd like to book an appointment, I would love to chat with you. If you'd like to just give back in a different way and say thank you, I mentioned at the beginning, everything you see here is viewer supported. If you click on that second card and second link, you'll go to my website as well. And from there, you can do a one-time donation, as little as $1, or a recurring one through Patreon. And this goes directly into allowing me to purchase all of the decks that you see here, and more importantly, setting the time up on my calendar. I usually just do 1 video per day, and it takes me about 12 days, or almost like half the month, to get all of these videos ready. So your donations allow for that to happen. Everybody that's previously donated, thank you so much. I dedicate this video to you, and you seriously made it possible. If you'd like to make the next one possible, then click that link, and in advance, I want to say thank you. The third way is easy for everybody, because I know not everybody wants or can donate, but you can support the channel simply by clicking on that third card or third link. There you can go to my website and join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also my newsletter if you'd like. And of course, if you haven't already done so, like and subscribe to this video. All of that helps make the platform a little bit stronger. And if you want to go one step further, this really helps. It's to share something that you saw here on your channel, particularly if it resonates. This will help other people get the same message for free, and it helps me kind of spread some light across the planet, which is the true reason that I'm here each and every month. So to that end, let's go to your closing message. I really want you to own your power this month. Whenever I see the magician in a spread, it shows me that a lot of change is possible and that you can pretty much do anything you set your mind to. The main focus this month, besides that though, is transformation. We have the Tower and this shape-shifting card. You have a chance this month to become somebody different or something more than you have before. You can step into that light, that spotlight, you can start to shine, and you can start to inspire others. It's the passion that you feel about yourself and what you do that truly attracts the type of people I think that many of you are looking for. People that are walking a higher path, that are clear and clean in their own lives, and are there to support, not detract, or not sort of compete with you. So I hope that this resonates. I hope that you can accomplish all of this. And I thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Wishing you love and light now and always. Thank you so much. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.